Hi, Facebook live stream viewers and listeners. We are so happy to have you with us, and my apologies that we are starting late. I know we're almost an hour late. We were going to live stream at noon, and those of you who were with us at noon did probably catch my live stream from the freeway where there was some horrendous accident and the freeway became a parking lot. So I got to the studio very late. But we have a wonderful, important show to bring you. So I hope you can stay with us, or if you've got to get back to the office, then check out this video later because you don't want to miss this information. By my side here is Carrie Woodland, and she is the founder of We the People of San Diego. And this is a group that's seeking to get some important action going so we can avoid a nuclear disaster with our San Onofre nuclear plant. So please stick around for this information. In just a moment, we're going to be joined by phone with Donna Gilmore, and she is also an expert in this area. So there's going to be a lot of great information of what we can do and what we need to know to avoid a nuclear disaster. All right, we will be starting the show in just a moment. Carrie, would you like to say hi to our Facebook live stream audience?
Hello. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego, and we're so grateful for this city and for Dr. Paula Shaw and this show. And we are grateful to be able to use this show as the platform for our awareness campaign to get San Diegans to wake up to the San Onofre nuclear crisis that we're all facing here in Southern California. Most people are unaware. They think because it's shut down that our problems are solved and over. However, that is so not the case.
And we're going to be talking so much more about that in just a moment. So do we have Donna ready to join us?
Oh, no, I thought you were going to do her
Okay. Oh, that's all right. I'll that was a conversation with Todd James, my sound engineer, who you've heard me talk about before. He is the most wonderful man on the planet, and we could not do the show without him. So as we speak, he is calling Donna Gilmore, who will be joining us by phone. And so I think I did explain this. We are recording out of order. So the usual intro to Change It Up Radio and all of that will actually come later. So we are going to be recording now in just a few minutes as though we're stepping right into the third segment of the show. So I just wanted that to be very clear so we don't confuse you. You are actually backstage at Change It Up Radio. And sometimes when outside craziness happens, like terrible accidents on the freeway, we have to improvise. And since this lady has many things to do, and so does Donna, and they were expecting to be interviewed around 12:30. We're going to go ahead and do their part first, and then I'll go back and open the show. So in just a moment, when Todd tells us that we have Donna on the show, we'll be getting going.
So I would like
Donna is on the phone.
Oh, Donna's with us. Okay.
I would just like to say Donna is an angel. She's our nuclear angel who has saved all of us from a nuclear disaster. She was instrumental in getting the San Onofre power plant shut down in the first place during the first crisis.
If I can ask you to save that and say it in a minute when we're actually recording the radio show, that will be great, Carrie, because that's important information.
Yes.
Hi, Donna. You're with us?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Thank
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I apologize for the delay. I was not in the accident, but it was horrendous. So
yeah, geez, we weren't in the accident, so that's what we have to be thankful for here. So hopefully they're okay.
And I definitely am.
Amen.
So thank you for your flexibility. And so I was just explaining to the live stream audience that we're recording now as though we're stepping into the third segment where you and Carrie would have started. And then after that, I'll go back and record the beginning of the show. And through the magic of Todd James, my amazing sound engineer, it will all be cut together as though it had happened in order.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And Here, the segments are 11 minutes, 30 seconds. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. We have been talking about something that we're discussing today that is very important. And I am now being joined by two women whose expertise is going to enlighten us and hopefully spur us into taking some action so that we can avoid a nuclear crisis. So let me first introduce Donna Gilmore, who is joining us by phone. Hi, Donna.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me here.
Yo, my pleasure. I'm so happy to have you and your expertise. And may I say to you, Donna, right up front, you and Carrie, thank you both for what you are doing to try to save not just San Diego, but really the whole world, as we'll all be learning shortly. But let me tell the audience about you, Donna. Donna Gilmore is the founder of San Onofre Safety, which is an organization that provides factual, government, and scientific information on the serious safety issues found at San Onofre Nuclear Generating Station right here in Southern California. Since the closure of the nuclear reactors, the focus of this organization has turned from operational safety issues to the issues of nuclear spent fuel storage at San Onofre and other California and U.S. locations. It's the storage of this nuclear waste that is what we're going to be talking about today because it's critically important. So the other person that we will be talking with is Carrie Woodland, who is the founder of We the People of San Diego, a concerned citizens group sharing and whose purpose is to increase awareness of the San Onofre crisis. She's a native Californian lady and a dear friend of mine. We are in the Rancho Santa Fe Rotary Group together. And what I will tell you about this woman is she is tireless in her work to try to save this planet on many, many different levels. So you want to learn more about Carrie Woodland. All right. So, ladies, let's get right into this. First of all, Donna, let me ask you, Donna, and by the way, before we started recording the radio show, Carrie had a description of you that I would like her to share one more time. Only the Facebook live stream listeners heard it, but we want it to be on the actual radio broadcast as well. So go ahead, Carrie. What were you saying about Donna Gilmore?
Well, I consider Donna Gilmore to be our nuclear angel. She's instrumental at having the plant shut down when it almost melted down. She saved us so much. I can't even tell you the disaster that we would all have faced. She's amazing. I love her. She is the wind beneath my wings with her big angel wings. I'm truly grateful to her, and she is on it. I mean, she is so detail-oriented. We love her and appreciate everything she does for this cause.
Well, that was a great bio, way better than the one I did. So, Donna, our nuclear angel, please tell us what is the origin of this crisis that we're looking at here at San Onofre?
Oh, well, let me start out by saying I had thought, like probably most people, that you're running a nuclear plant or have nuclear waste, that you have all kinds of backup and redundancy, and you would have the best employees and reward them if they find safety problems. You would assume that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is overseeing them to make sure they're doing their job. Mm-hmm. And I learned that the opposite is true.
Oh,
that in fact, I've learned that Southern California Edison that operates San Onofre, they have the worst safety complaint record from their own employees in the entire country of all reactors by far.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and so all my beliefs, my assumptions, which I should know better in the background as a systems analyst and designing mission-critical systems, you should never assume. So in and there were many of us that worked to make sure Edison didn't restart a broken reactor. It took a lot of people. It took there was a donor in Laguna Beach that donated money to pay for attorneys and lobbyists, and the Friends of the Earth got on board with this effort. So it took a village, so to speak, to help. And then Edison, because they redesigned a critical part of a system and focused on profits rather than safety, and it was just another bad decision from them. So now fast forward to today, the two reactors are shut down permanently, but everything that made it dangerous, the nuclear waste, is still there. We have tons and tons of highly radioactive, lethal nuclear waste stored right by the beach, just north of Camp Pendleton in San Diego County. And I participate in NRC technical meetings where I learned that the NRC admits that the canisters they're using at San Onofre and elsewhere, they're very thin, like 5/8 of an inch thick, and guess what? Ocean air can cause them to crack.
Oh,
what a surprise, by the ocean metal, right?
Now, Donna,
Donna,
can I stop you for just a minute because I want to get clarification for our listening audience. So the plant is shut down now. It is no longer working as a nuclear plant. But the waste materials, which you said are radioactive, are still on site. And they are being stored in canisters, a stainless steel, as I understand, right?
Right.
That's only 5/8 of an inch thick.
Right.
And the material inside, can that material eat through the metal, damage the metal?
Well, it's both directions. You have environmental exposure outside. You have and they're vulnerable to short-term cracking, and even if they have just partial cracks, these are pressure vessels. They're under pressure, and with just partial cracks, so the containers could fail. But the NRC is basically looking the other way and allowing this to happen. Each one of these canisters holds roughly the amount of highly radioactive cesium and other radionuclides that were released from the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Just one can.
Oh,
so this is
And how many canisters do we have? What are we looking at?
Okay, we have, we have 51 canisters made by Areva. They're up to 15 years old now, the oldest ones.
Oh.
And then they have 29 Holtec ones are storing in storage holes in the ground. But all the canister systems, the ones above and the Areva above ground, but all of them have air vents to keep, because it's super, super hot, and to keep them cool. So our only protection is that 5/8 thick wall. Once that fails, they have no plan. They have no way to find cracks. Oh. They have no way to repair cracks, and they have nothing in place if they leak. And because because they burn this fuel so long in the reactor, it creates these hydrogen, which means we can have hydrogen gas explosions if this fuel is exposed to air, this fuel waste.
Okay, Donna, let me ask you and Carrie a question. If this were being handled correctly with the ultimate, best technology and standards, what would be a more ideal way? Because as I understand from reading the articles, these canisters are only 18 inches above the ocean level, which means if they do crack, they can leak into the ocean, right?
Well, it's even without ocean, climate change, would you believe that these holes, they have air vents where the canisters are stored, and there's no drains in the bottom of the holes. So fog, moisture, rain can go inside, no drains. I mean, it's just a really bad system. But we only have one option If we want to continue to live in, what I consider one of the best places in the world to live, not the best place.
Yes.
The only option that's a commercially available option that's available is thick wall metal casts that are they make them 10 inches thick up to 19 and 3/4 inches thick.
Well, that makes better sense.
Yeah, huge difference. And in Japan, they have the ones that are 10 inches thick, and they survived the 9.0 earthquake at Fukushima. Wow. They survived the tsunami. Those have bolted lids rather than welded shut. The ones we have, they're welded shut. They can't even see what's going on inside. You can't even see the degradation. They were able to open them up to determine if everything was okay. They did notice that these fuel baskets that hold these, what they call fuel assemblies, separate in the containers, they noticed that the baskets weren't going to last more than 60 years. They have this aluminum alloy. And I spoke to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission about this. What about ours? Because ours are aluminum too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, we'll get back to you, Donna. That's like 2 years ago. Oh, we're waiting for the bid. I mean, the NRC is providing cover for the nuclear industry. The NRC,
Donna,
management even lies to the commissioners about what's going on.
Donna, we have to take a break, but when we come back, let's talk some more about this. Unfortunately, we only have 11 minutes and 30 seconds each segment, so we have a lot to share in a short time. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, actually, Donna, we're going to go ahead and jump right back into the recording.
Okay.
But as I said, we only have this last segment, 11 minutes, 30 seconds, and I do want to also get into what do we want people to do. So maybe, Carrie, you can talk a little bit about that part too.
Sure.
And so I'm going to just do a quick recap when we come back in this segment of what you were just saying. And I think this is like a great place. You just mentioned that Japan's doing something a lot smarter than we are. And so I think I'm going to open with just asking you, why aren't we using those kind of canisters? Can we? Do we even have that option at this point? And then we'll go into like what would be better. Do we need legislation? Do we need a court case? What do we need? So let's try and get into a bit of that too. Because what I don't want to do is just scare people and not give them knowledge about how they can take action.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, great. All right, ladies, we're ready to come back. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. We are having a very, very important and captivating, that's not the word I want. I'm going to start over. That was not where we want to go. Okay. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. This is an important show. If you've been listening to us, you know we're talking about a potential nuclear crisis that could happen here in San Diego area at the San Onofre nuclear plant. Donna Gilmore and Carrie Woodland have joined me. These ladies are experts in what's going on at San Onofre and what we need to do. So in our last segment, when we finished up, Donna was telling us that we are storing nuclear waste in canisters, stainless steel canisters, which are impacted by damp, salty ocean air. They're only 5/8 of an inch thick. In contrast, in Japan, they are using canisters that are 10 inches thick. So we have a very big difference, don't we, ladies? And what I want to know is, A, why weren't we using canisters that are 10 inches thick? And can we make a switch without some kind of a disaster happening? Carrie or Donna, would one of you like to address that?
Well, Donna has all the information, but I think it boils down to money. It's cheaper, obviously, these canisters. And if we know anything about Southern California Edison, they have lawyers and accountants on staff. Very bad management. So it's always about the money and all the shortcuts they've taken through the years, their horrible record of near misses, And so they can't be trusted. They have to be taken out. And, so it's always the money. It's always about the money.
Isn't there a government agency that's supposed to be regulating what's happening and keeping people safe?
Well, as Donna was mentioning, they get back to her, and she's been waiting 2 years for answers from them on various issues. So, yeah, Donna, where are we on that?
Well, the nuclear, what I learned, I've even flown back to Washington, D.C. and to Maryland. I actually made a presentation to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. I asked the director of spent fuel management, I said, why do you allow thin-walled canisters that you can't inspect or repair or maintain or monitor to prevent major radiological problems? And his answer to me, he acted like he didn't have any authority, and then I called him on that because I knew it was not true. And he says, well, we stick to the ones we have. They pay for all the R&D, and they even pay for my staff's time. So we have a dysfunctional Nuclear Regulatory Commission. And I also learned that the elected officials at the federal level and at other levels have no idea that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is doing this. I spoke to two former chairmen of the NRC and one current NRC commissioner. None of them knew that the NRC was improving these kind of containers. They are not being told. Markey and Boxer, when they were over the energy committee or commission in Washington, they had no idea about this either. So,
and Donna, if I'm correct, this isn't just a San Diego problem because there are other nuclear plants in the country, right?
Yes, definitely.
And are they? They're all using these thin canisters?
No, not all of them.
Oh.
They initially, the United States, the plants were using thick wall casts, to be 14 and a half inches thick. Oh. And then Holtec comes along with this cheaper model, and they all assume, well, we only need something to last 20 years. It's cheaper. Let's just go with this. That's the mentality. But only because I did really deep digging and got involved with NRC working level technical staff did I learn about all these problems. Even independent experts that elected officials trust really did not know what was going on at this level. So what do we do? Okay, yes. we have to alert our elected officials. Now we have Mike Levin in District 49, and I've been working, and Carrie have been working to educate him. And we need to get to Nancy Pelosi, and we need to get to those people and get them educated on what's really going on. If the NRC enforce their safety regulations like they should, instead they give exemptions. If they enforce them, nobody could buy these containers. And we have to switch them out to the thick wall cast. Now, some people say, well, let's just get them out of here. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. And we don't have authority to give them to somebody else. And they're not in good enough condition to even transport. There's a whole other slew. And then there's this promise of a permanent geological repository, Yucca Mountain or elsewhere. Well, that's really industry propaganda. The Nuclear Waste Technical Review Board, at their May meeting in 2018, admitted that they have no clue how to make a permanent geological repository work, even in the short term. So, it's critical. Yeah, and these canisters are all over the country, and on San Onofre Safety .org, there's a petition you can sign. And
okay, let's give that information again. San Onofre Safety.org. There's a petition that can be signed.
Right at the home page. Yeah, right on the home page, you'll see the petition, and that'll give you more information about this issue. But the problem is we don't have enough people that are aware of this problem. So we need to increase awareness, and this isn't a fun topic, but if we want to continue to live in Southern California, we have to do this.
And so I want to encourage everybody hearing this show, start talking to people about this. Start, because I was one of the uneducated ones until a couple of months ago when Donna came and spoke to our Rotary group. And I brought it up to so many people, and nobody had any idea. Only my daughter knew about this because the LA Times apparently had a big article about it. They're concerned because we're in their backyard. And
right, it will affect them too.
Of course.
The Chernobyl disaster went over 150 miles. You're talking major permanent evacuation zones. This is critical. This is the most important issue we have facing us. And if we can't get this fixed in Southern California, I don't know who can.
Yeah,
and I just want to add to that, the price tag is somewhere in the $300 trillion if that explosion would have happened on August the 3rd. That is the price tag on the situation here. If we take out Los Angeles and we take out San Diego, the price tag is $300 trillion. Do you think that the world economy is going to be able to just go over that like a speed bump? No, it's going to, everyone's going to be affected. So this is everybody's problem. It really is a global issue. And what we do with this here is going to set the trend for all over the world for all nuclear power plants. Yes. So this is why it's so critical what Donna's doing and our team. She has wonderful affiliates that she works with that we all work with, and we hope to have them on the show soon too.
Yes, and you mentioned to me an attorney. Is it Robert Aguirre?
Mike Aguirre.
Mike Aguirre.
He did have a segment on KOSI News, and he's calling for criminal action. I mean, basically, we are Flint, Michigan. And people are in jail for the Flint, Michigan crisis and cover up, I have to say. Mike
is a former prosecutor, so he went to the FBI, and this is criminal behavior. My focus is on getting replacement containers so we can continue to live here. It'd be great to put people in jail, but if we don't get these containers replaced, nothing else will matter.
No, exactly. Nothing. So that's the thing we have to focus on first. Right. Do we want to encourage people to write to Mike Levin or whoever their congresspeople are, and to any media that any of you are exposed to, and on social media? Let's start talking about this potential nuclear crisis that we all need to get busy doing our part to avoid. Every single one of us.
And local city councils, I mean, if the city council people know this is your issue, then they can represent us at the state and federal level.
Okay.
So a grassroots effort would involve getting your city elected officials involved, so they're advocating for this. It's more powerful to have a whole city saying, hey, do this, than just, and, you wouldn't buy a car that you couldn't inspect, maintain, repair, and got no warning before something major went wrong. This is not nuclear science. This is common sense.
Yeah. Wow. And I think
and any city council and elected officials should be on board with that. Just those basic requirements would eliminate these thin canisters from even being used.
Okay, so interesting that you mentioned that, Donna, because honestly, the silence from all of our government officials and the way they're looking the other way at every level, from the federal all the way down to the local, it's almost like it's intentional. I'm sorry, but it's hard. It's hard to think.
I don't think they know. I don't. Most of them they're either trusting Southern California Edison or they truly don't know. And we have a lot of new elected officials now, so it's time to go back around. And,
so, Donna, I'm so sorry, but we are out of time. And I just want to reiterate what you've said. Start talking to people, everybody, every branch of government, your friends, social media, city councils. Let's get this conversation bigger.
This is the wake-up call radio talk show.
Yeah. And if we have somebody that has high visibility, that would be helpful.
Absolutely.
The media would follow.
That's right.
Don't have that
we
now,
need,
but we need it.
So we need somebody with high visibility. We need to really get this conversation going. Ladies, I am so grateful to both of you. I want you to come back. We need to keep the word alive out there and keep people interested, because it's our lives, you guys. It's our lives. This is not like a fire that only burns a few
Right.
acres.
Yes.
This is going to affect the whole state, the whole country,
Our nation,
the world.
The world.
So let's all do our part. I want to thank everybody for listening. Remember, you can hear us on KCBQ at 9 o'clock Sunday nights at AM 1170 or 96.1 FM. We're on every major podcast platform. Please check out our Facebook and Instagram pages. Like us, subscribe to the podcast. Just be there and spread the word about what you've learned today about this nuclear crisis. Thank you all for being with us. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Carrie, and thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Donna. Always a pleasure.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. And that's a wrap for that
Yay.
little section. Donna, are you there still?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much. That was an amazing contribution. We definitely have to talk more, but I think we got some really important information across to people. You know, at least they're getting the understanding that these canisters, there is no way these are okay. And with all the technology that we've got just in San Diego, somebody's got to be able to figure out a better way.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of the world uses the thick wall technology. We're the outlier
I
here.
know.
You
I
know,
know.
Because
it's kind of
crazy.
embarrassing to
it's
think
the
about
money,
it.
right?
It is.
It's the money, right, Donna? They're cheaper. The canisters are cheaper.
You know, I know inside. I've made friends and contacts with all kind of people. You know, I'll talk to the oil and gas industry.
Yeah.
I'll talk to retired vendors, and they're telling me that when they made this vendor I know, he was at the meeting where they made the decision to switch from the good thick cast to the thin ones. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they went for the money. Exactly.
Right.
They went for the cheaper cost. And they said, oh, well, it'll be the federal government. You know, all these things are only going to last 20, 30 years, but then it'll be the federal government's problem.
Right.
Well, the federal government really is us, and
Yeah.
it's all our problem. And
Yeah.
I think we all need to do whatever we can. So
Yes.
thank you both.
You know,
for
I
everything
didn't
you're
even
doing.
I didn't even get to the part where, because this was more background, but Holtec actually is gouging every canister being loaded in the hole.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're all
loaded
damaged.
And they made gouges in the wall, and the NRC admitted it. And then they have canister number 30 in limbo, isn't even in a hole, but it has fuel. And now there's a meeting tomorrow about Holtec. But, you know, my fear is the NRC is going to green light and let them continue loading, even though they know every canister gets
That's the
gouged.
scary part.
Well, we're going to
Yeah.
hope for a different outcome, Donna, and I will keep in touch with Carrie and see what's happening,
Yes.
and we'll talk about
All
this
right.
again. Right now, I'm going to
Okay,
have
great.
to go. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Donna.
All right, Donna,
Thanks
thank
a
you,
lot.
sweetie. You're the best.
Thanks for doing this. Thanks a lot.
Wait,
Okay.
1 second, Todd. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Facebook, are they still there? Oh, thank you. Thank you for being with us for that part. We need to take a couple of pictures here, and then I'll be doing the beginning of the show. So if you've got time to stick around, please do. But we're going to say goodbye to Carrie here and get some pictures, and then we'll be back.